ears. Oh, okay. An excitable bottle that I've got here. Close it and then yeah. Woo! That's delicious. Hello everyone, Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, and it's time for the first video looking forward into a new decade in bass music, dark electronic music, whatever you want to call it. Yep, the 2010s are nearly over, very nearly over, and we are looking forward now into the 2020s, the roaring 20s once again. Here we go. Just gonna go over a load of producers, artists, and groups here that I think it could be a particularly big year for. Yeah, I mean, look at me. I've still got my Christmas beard on. I've got my big woolly warm jumper that I got from my auntie on as well. It's gonna be a good video. No real order here to the musicians I'm gonna be talking about, concentrating almost entirely on those who haven't put out something big for a while, talking about maybe a year or a couple of years or so. And then also those who I know have something big coming up, so an album or an EP, whatever it will be. Yeah, people who have confirmed that around the corner in 2020 they will be releasing a substantial project. I'm gonna finish the video, I think, also by going over some musicians who are a bit lesser known. Those that people don't know as much are a bit smaller, but which I think are must-follows for the year and decade ahead. So let's go. And first up is Noisia. Now we know for sure that they are disbanding for good at the end of the year, and we also know that in 2020 there's going to be a lot of touring from them, traveling around the world and playing their final shows and whatnot. But will we get new music from them as well? Will we get a new project from them to round the whole Noisia concept off for good? There have been a few collaborations from them in the last couple of years with people like the Upbeats, Face, Former, etc. But we've heard rumours of others, such as Skrillex, for example. Imagine a Noisia and Skrillex collaboration, but will we get a collaborations project from them of sorts? I don't know. It could be anything. It could be an album, an EP, whatever. Could be completely solo with no more collaborations, but yeah, who knows? It will be amazing, I imagine, whatever it will be. Pendulum. Now this is an album that has been rumoured for so long now. The trio and their band have been touring quite a lot over the last 3 or 4 years, sparking many rumours of a comeback and what could be on the music front. Knife Party at the same time has kind of dwindled, I would have to say, over the last couple of years, the music seeming a bit more rushed than usual, which leads me to think that, yeah, they have been working on Pendulum stuff. They've been known as Trinity for the last year and a half or so as they've been touring, and I think that could be the name of the album as well. Will we get it next year? Who knows? Following on from there, we have Skrillex, who had a big year this year, lest we forget, with a lot of collaborative work with the likes of Troy Boy, Boys Noise, even Ed Sheeran. He put out his Show Tracks EP as well. But I think what we are waiting for is some big solo material from him, and I think we could get that in the shape of another album. But not just that. Skrillex posted to Instagram a few months ago saying he's working on albums plural. Yes, albums with an S at the end. And I think what that could also mean, because I don't think that we're going to see another alias or another group surfacing from him. I think he's going to go back to basics, and seeing as Dog Blood released a fair bit of material this year, I think he's going to go back to Jack U, and we're going to get another project from him and Diplo as Jack U. So yeah, a solo album and a Jack U project of some sorts. I really wouldn't be surprised. I think it will be a big 2020 for him. After that, Deadmau5 released a few singles this year and seems to very much be back in the swing of it, having had some time away from music and social media and everything that comes with that. And I think on top of that, and as a result of all these singles kind of building up and being released together, we're going to have a first proper electronic solo album from him since 2016. Very much on the cards, I think. Next up, Virtual Riot, who tweeted just a few days ago that next year could be album year, which is very exciting for all fans of bass music. I think you really wouldn't be surprised for him to churn it out and make the turnaround of that quite quick as well. The man is a production machine, as we all know, and he also said that it could be quite experimental, seeing him try out new genres and different stuff to what he's usually done and what he's renowned for, beyond the melodic bro step and dubstep kind of stuff. But yeah, I think regardless of what we get, I think it could be a really game-changing project for bass music in general. Sub-Focus, is it finally time for a new album? It would be a first since 2013's Taurus. Put out a few tracks this year, a couple of remixes as well to my knowledge, and I think a proper comeback could be looming, and I think it would be really welcomed and a fresh hit of life and exuberance and creativity for the bass music scene. Moving on from there, we have Nero, who I think are regrouping, this following the trio splitting up for a couple of years and kind of doing their own thing, none of which though has quite taken off, and so I think they are gonna get back together, and it could be a big year for them and for bass music generally. It would be if they did release another album, EP, whatever. But yeah, they put out a single this year, can't remember what it was called, wasn't massive on it, but I think them coming together again will be great, as I said, for bass music, and I look forward to it being a potential thing. Let's wait and see. Zed's Dead, who we know are releasing a new collab album very soon, will be coming out in the earlier part of this year. Probably next month. I think it is next month actually, yeah. People that have been confirmed on it like Subtronics, Peekaboo, Ganja White Knight, Dion Timmer, and so many more will be on it, so yeah, something there we can definitely look forward to. Mr. Carmack, who says his itch for lighter, jazzier types of music has been scratched. Time for some more bass-driven, trap-oriented, gritty, down-tempo music from him. I think we will get it in the shape of multiple projects. It could be an EP, album, it could be both, but yeah, I think 2020 will be another big year for him. Eptic. Now, as unlikely as it may be, I would love to see him dip into the album format. I think his style and his type of animation deserves it. But yeah, it would be cool, and that is pretty much all I have to say on that one. Destroyed. Now, I've seen a couple of rumours flying about, and who knows, it would be so epic. I think it would be a first album from them since 2013, The Invasion, but imagine, just imagine a new Destroyed album. Excision has done a lot for bass music over the last 2 or 3 years or so, with Lost Lands, his album, various collaborations and whatnot. But this really would take the cake, and yeah, imagine, just imagine a new Destroyed album. Hero Bust, another who put out a few tunes this year, but no multi-track collection in spite of that, and I think 2020 could be EP time again for him. Maybe an album. I mean, he did put out albums a fair few years ago, but I kinda doubt he'll go back to that. It's just whether his style suits the album format now. But yeah, I think a project of some sort very much awaits from him. Hero Bust 2020, who knows? Kill the Noise. Now, the last few years have been very full of collaborations and remixes for him. No multi-track collection from him since 2015, I think, that being the Occult Classic album. But yeah, I think we are overdue a substantial project from him, even if it is an EP or album, whatever. I think that is very much around the corner for KTN in 2020. Who knows? Calyx and TB, 5 singles out this year, which I think only leads to one thing. A first full-length LP since 2016. It would be their 4th. So yeah, here's hoping. Camo and Crooked. Loads of singles put out from them in 2019. Maybe, just maybe, this could be an album year for them again. Would be a first since 2017's Mosaic. So yeah, not massively long since the last one, but you really wouldn't bet against them putting out another one. So yeah, Camo and Crooked, 2020, new album. Who knows? Charmy, could it be a year for a new project from him? I think the last we got was No Redemption with Malar from last year, and I know that running the Confession label will be a lot of work and will take up a lot of his time, but I do think also he's such a fantastic producer, and we are really overdue by this point. A solo multi-track collection from him would be great. Charmy, 2020, let's wait and see. Dr. P, will we finally get another multi-track collection from him? Releases have been pretty constant over the last couple of years, but it's been so long that we've got something substantial from him. But yeah, I really hope for Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Part 2, as we all do every single year. Could 2020 finally be the year? Let's wait and see. Flux Pavilion, another person very busy running Circus Records, of course, but it could be time for another project, and I do think we will get it. I think if we do get it, it will be more chilled than outright heavy, going off the singles and collaborations that he's put out in the last year or so. But yeah, I think it's still very likely to happen. A new album, but at the very least a new EP. Flux Pavilion 2020, let's go. Coven, new album out soon. 4 or 5 singles out from it already, I think. Not sure exactly when it's coming out, but should be in the first few months of the year or so. But yeah, excitement. Wolfgang Gartner, who has taken time to get back on his feet and rehabilitate himself after his troubles for the past few years, which he voiced on social media earlier this year. Now fully back in the studio, but what will we get? Will it be an album, another album, or an EP? I'm sure it will be something substantial. He'll want to come back with a bang, and I'm sure he will. Wolfgang Gartner 2020, who knows? Joyryde and his album Brave, another LP from which we have a few singles already, should finally come out this year. One that has been hyped up a lot and over a large stretch of time, if you will, and I think all of the detail, effort and time that he's put into it will be very worth it, and I'm excited to hear it in full. Joyryde, Brave 2020. The Frim. I think we should always live in hope that he will return in some way. We can but pray. I think some of the best dubstep tunes of the decade have come from him, in my opinion, and it's a genre that could do with his invention and ingenuity right now. So yeah, whatever it may be, The Frim 2020, please, please, we can but hope and pray. Memtrix, one of Dean B's finest, had a very, very quiet year this year. I'm not sure actually that he put out anything, but you could correct me on that. I might be mistaken. But I always look forward to potential material from him, one of the most riveting and captivating styles in drum and bass music. So yeah, 2020, Memtrix, it could be a big year for him. Far Too Loud, you know, where has my man been? Absolutely not a clue. It feels like he's just fallen off the face of the bass music earth completely. Maybe he's working under a different alias, but I really do doubt that. Maybe he's just grown completely bored of making bass music altogether. It could be that as well. But nevertheless, I would love to see him make a return in some form, whatever way. Even if it is a few singles and remixes, I would love that. He could even perhaps be spending his time making an EP or album, just who knows. But yeah, a return of any form I would absolutely love. Far Too Loud, if you are listening, we are all behind you. It could also be a big year for Fizo. Fizo, 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 Fizzo, Fizo, Fizo, Fizzo, Fizo, 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 Fizo. What more can I say? Fizo. Savant, who has been talking a lot about a new album coming along, which I think we will get next year. If anyone who you're not going to put it past to release another album, it's going to be Savant. I think it would be his 17th or 18th album, something absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, little doubt that that one will come along. A bit mad that he is still putting out so much music, but very much look forward to it as per. Drezzo, for whom it is confirmed that a new EP is next in his discography, almost certain to come out in the first half of next year. One of my favourite producers over the last couple of years in bass music altogether. So yeah, Drezzo, I am very, very hyped for this new EP and what it could bring to the house table, mid-tempo, down-tempo, whatever. Who knows what he'll delve into. It will be big. Sultan, another relatively quiet year for him this year, and I think the scene is crying out for an attention-grabbing project from him. Wasn't big on his singles from this year, but I think if we got a project from him in 2020, it would be pretty different, and I think we could get it. He's been talking a fair bit about his progression over the last year or so and where he's going with his music, and I'm all here for it. So yeah, Sultan 2020, here we go. Trollface, after the awful event at the beginning of the year of his house fire and all of the stuff that he lost in the process of that, I think he's taken some time now to get things back together and work on music and recuperate. Maybe he'll come through with a project, maybe he's had enough time by now, maybe he hasn't, but I'm just putting it out there as something that we could get, something that would be fantastic as a comeback for him considering what happened. So yeah, Trollface 2020, who knows again. Bro Safari, who put out that really interesting collab project with UFO last year, and I think we're due something big from him again next year, maybe more so on a solo level. I would absolutely love that. And again, it's one that I feel I can feel, one that I think will come along next year. Bro Safari, a substantial project of some sort. Here's hoping. Ghastly, the sophomore album, will be out soon. A few singles again out from this one already. Yeah, not sure exactly when it's out, but it should be in the first few months of 2020, so yeah, one to definitely look forward to. Code Pandorum. Now, I think there could be a big CP project around the corner, could have something coming out soon, in the next 12 months or so. For a little clue, I would say head to the end of his track Penumbra, that was released on his Disciple EP from earlier in the year. But yeah, it could just be a hunch, it could be an inkling, nothing more than that, but I'm pretty sure that we could have something big from CP coming around next year. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Temanite, who I think I'm right in saying will be finished soon on the academic front of his life, and from there we'll get a lot of new material from him. Some really heavy stuff I think is around the corner from Mr. Sam Norris, I'm pretty sure of that. So yeah, I think in between that as well, we'll get something a little more overtly musical from him. But yeah, a lot to look forward to from Temanite for sure. Spaghetti, a new collection from him surely is on the cards soon. Comes through year after year with bangers, both originals and remixes. But yeah, not a lot in recent times on the projects front. An album, I think, is a massive doubt. I don't think that would happen. But an EP, I don't think is a bad shout. And I think something that could happen that we could get. And yeah, 2020, Spaghetti EP, who knows, but let's have it. Mike Savello, one of, if not the best Barong producer at the moment for me. No EP last year, but great EPs in 2017 and 2018. And who knows what 2020 could bring from him. I imagine, though, that he will take the jungle festival scene to new heights again through the medium of house music. But yeah, very excited. One of my favourite producers, no doubt. And yeah, looking forward to what we see from him next year. Hopefully an EP or any project of some sort. Muzzy, another who's had a pretty quiet 2019 relative for him. Know that he's been working on a lot of stuff recently though, so I think a big year is coming up for him. And notably, actually, with Knife Party. And whether that extends beyond the remix he did for them earlier in the year, I'm not sure. But what a prospect that is and what a potential collaboration that could be. Not going to get my hopes up though, as no one should. It could have just stopped at the remix. But anyway, a project, whether it be an album or an EP, I think awaits from him. Very excited for that. Twine, who was one of the biggest players in dubstep in the middle part of this decade, no question. Nothing this year after a pretty substantial 2018, so who knows, maybe 2020 will bring back another comeback of sorts from him. Who knows, maybe it'll be an EP, whatever. But yeah, something I would very much welcome. One of the best in modern dubstep, I would have to say. And finally, we have Volgatron, following collaborations with various dubstep producers this year. I think a full project should be on the way pretty soon. I'd be surprised if it didn't come out in 2020, considering the singles, how they've been released alongside one another, the hype for all of them, and the variety of different dubstep producers involved. I think we'll just get more and more of them over the course of next year, and I'm intrigued as to how he'll hold his own across a full project, whether it be an EP or an album. Yeah, without Metropolis alongside him, of course, the other half of Foreign Beggars. But yeah, so long since we've had a very direct combination project in terms of dubstep and rap, and I think it could be great. So yeah, here is hoping that it is such. Very much looking forward to that one. And now, just before I leave you, gonna give you those smaller, lesser known producers who I think are well worth your time and follow from next year and beyond. Bear with me, there are quite a few here. So we have Decembra, Death Pact, Krimmer, Shanghai Doom, Detrace, Ace Aura, Basic, Arigto, Eliderp, ISO Exo, Van Fleet, Sharks, Hella, Cybersex, J-Smek, Synergy, Kanan, Alan Mock, Control Freak, Percy's, Morkismet, Volique, Herbalistek, Imanu, Versa, Huke, Tenebrax, Stuka, Spitfire, Guillotine, Nightpunk, Wynaught, Fatal, Flax, Missin, JDG, Voltra, Drac, Redax, Superav, Nano, Bones Noise, and Itchy. But there we have it, guys, a load of potential projects to look forward to, and some lesser known producers to get following from the bass scene. I hope you enjoyed this video, the last one of the decade. Thank you very much for watching. But who are you looking forward to hearing more from next year? Any smaller producers or bigger ones that haven't released something for a while that I haven't mentioned here and you think are worth a mention? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell along the way so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video to the channel. And my social media accounts, as always, are linked in the description box down below. If you're new here, for a couple of examples of the other kinds of video that I do on the channel, I suggest looking at the link right here. And lastly, if it's naughty, then you know, guys, so be sure, as always, to keep it naughty and stay safe. And Happy New Year, everyone. I shall see you in the next decade with stuff looking back at the decade we've just had to kick off the 20s in style. I can't wait. But yeah, keep it naughty and peace out.